Compliments of the season to you. Chris, looking forward to another Group 1 opportunity for you and this very good horse today.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. We are looking forward to it, actually. It's just a matter of getting it down there in one piece now and see how we go. But, no, we're very happy with it.
Tell us what you've been doing in between times since that brilliant and emphatic win there in the Captain Cook, just ticking her over nicely towards today's assignment.
Yeah, I mean, we've sort of found that it's quite a big trip for her to go down all the way to Wellington and back from where we are up at near Whangarei. So it takes a few days to get down there, and she just couldn't have travelled any better when she went down. I was 100% happy with her. It was amazing. So she stopped off to break the trip up on the way back at Kylie Back's property, which is what we did last time when we came back from the Livermore. And she had a couple of days there in the paddock, and then she came back up and just went back down and been pottering around on the beach and a couple of little gallops. And then she had an exhibition at Ruakaka at the last meeting here, so we're happy with where we are with her.
We're just watching her brilliantly win the Captain Cook again. Did anything about that performance surprise you, Chris? Now you've had the opportunity to sit at home, have a good look at the replay a few times, I'm sure. Once Opie got to the outside 4 or 5 off the fence, we know she has that dazzling turn of foot, but you don't sort of see that too often at Group 1 level.
No, I guess, well, perhaps maybe the track might have played into her favour, but it certainly was a little bit of a concern at the time because we were coming into it very fresh and without a trial, without an exhibition, without anything really, and that was always a little concern, but gee, she relished it. If you really watch her, she probably has got that little bit of knee action where we always thought she'd probably handle a little bit of a cut in the ground, but you never quite know just how heavy they will cope with. So today again we're in that situation where there is that little tiny bit of doubt really, but I'd certainly you've got the odd ones that have already shown that they have a disliking for it, so they've pulled out, which I can understand. We don't have that that information, with her. She's never run on it really, but I think she'll get through it okay.
Chris, you've got 6 other rivals, a rather large team from the awesome firepower of Murray Baker and Andrew Forsman. You've drawn the outside of those, but that's probably going to play into your hands in many ways because she'll get back anyway.
Yeah, there's probably 4 out of the 7 that probably like to race, pretty handy actually. So it's going to be interesting. As you know, it's quite a short run into the first turn there at Ellerslie from the 2,000 metre mark. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all pans out. But I think I would certainly rather be drawn where I am than 1. Put it that way. I think 1 could have been quite an awkward draw for us. She has actually got gate speed. You could. She's very tractable. You could use her forward or back, I think, if we had to. But there certainly won't be any instructions as such for Opie today. He's had that one ride on her. Your champion jockeys, he knows her now. He knows her turn of foot. And I mean, it's a matter of cuddling her up and getting her through the ground and just bringing her and releasing her at the right time. So he knows her now. And anything that I would say would probably just confuse the situation. So that's a nice thing. You just leg him up and say good luck. And we'll see how we go.
Let him go, exactly. The Herbie Dyke, is that safely through today, the next step on this campaign anyway?
Yeah, you've got to look at it. I mean, it's our richest weight for age race in New Zealand, and it's a race that we've won a couple of times, so it's a lovely race that we love to have a go at, and it looks like a nice race for her to carry on towards. The big thing we did decide on really very early in the piece, as you know, we've kept her quite fresh each time, and so she hasn't had a lot of racing, is that we'd like to try and have a crack at Australia on the upside rather than sort of at the end of our campaign. So the Herbie Dyke is certainly something that we are targeting, but if we sat down and sort of said, well, look, why don't we have a go at something else in Australia at that same time, then we'd probably have to change, but I don't see any reason why we would. I think we'd probably head there, and then if she was good enough to win something again, one of these Group 1s, then she's still actually quite well weighted in the handicaps in Australia, which just gives us lots of options.
Excellent, Chris. Really appreciate your time. To you and Michelle, wish you all the very best for today's Group 1 feature, and thanks so much for coming on the Punters Lounge.